The lion was free, at last. The hunter's trap lay broken, and beside him stood the tiny mouse, who had saved his life. The king of the jungle lowered his mighty head and said, "Little one, I owe you my freedom." From that day, their bond grew stronger. The other animals of the jungle were shocked. How could the mighty lion, the fiercest of all, be friends with a creature so small? But soon, the truth would be revealed. One evening, the sun dipped low and shadows stretched across the jungle. The lion and the mouse rested near a watering hole. Birds chirped and the night insects began their song. Suddenly, snap! A sharp cracking sound echoed through the trees. The lion's ears twitched and the mouse froze. It wasn't the sound of falling branches. It was something else. Then came voices. Human voices. The hunters had returned, but this time, they weren't carrying simple nets. They had spears, fire, and heavy cages. The lion growled low, his golden mane bristling. "They dare to come again," the mouse whispered. "Careful, my friend. They are stronger than before." The hunters spread through the forest, setting fire torches to scare animals out of hiding. Deer ran, birds fled, and the jungle filled with panic. The hunter's leader shouted, "Tonight, the king of the jungle falls. His skin will be our prize." The lion roared, shaking the trees, but the mouse tugged at his mane. "Wait, fighting them head on is what they want. Let me help!" The tiny mouse scurried into the darkness, darting between roots and rocks, unseen by human eyes. He reached the hunter's camp, where ropes, cages, and food were kept. With quick bites, he chewed through the ropes, holding the traps. One by one, the nets collapsed to the ground. Next, he tore open the sacks of grain and fruit. Food spilled everywhere, drawing monkeys, boars, and birds to the camp. Within moments, chaos erupted. The hunters turned to chase the animals, stealing their supplies. That was the lion's moment. With a thunderous roar, he leapt from the shadows. His mighty claws struck the earth, scattering the hunters. The fire torches dropped, and smoke filled the air. The frightened men shouted, "It's impossible! The lion should have been ours!" And in fear, they ran, never daring to look back. When silence returned, the mouse hurried to the lion's side. The king of the jungle gazed down at his tiny friend, eyes glowing with pride. "You saved me once again, but this time, you saved the whole jungle." The mouse squeaked proudly. "Strength may rule the forest, but sometimes wisdom wins the war." And under the moonlit sky, the king and the tiny mouse walked side by side, no longer predator and prey, but brothers bound by courage and trust. A long time ago, in the heart of a sun-drenched jungle, lived a lion, the mightiest of his pride, whose roar echoed like thunder. But despite his strength, he had a weakness, a stubborn streak that often led him into trouble. One day, driven by hunger, he set off to hunt, but soon realized that his belly would remain empty if he didn't catch dinner quickly. Spotting a plump deer grazing nearby, the lion crouched, ready to pounce. But just as he lunged, a tiny mouse darted across his path, mocking him with a flick of its tail. In a burst of anger, the lion swatted at the mouse, missing and sending leaves flying. Instead of running away, the mouse stood its ground, squeaking, "You may be strong, Mr. Lion, but I am quicker. Catch me if you can." And with that, it disappeared into a thicket. Enraged, the lion dashed after it, crashing through bushes and trampling over logs. But the mouse was always just out of reach, darting up trees, leaping over streams, and burrowing underground. Tired and frustrated, the lion slumped against a tree, realizing he couldn't catch the nimble creature. Just then, a gentle voice broke the silence. "Having some fun, Mr. Lion!" A beautiful tigress stood before him, her striped coat shimmering in the sunlight. She had witnessed the chase and couldn't help but smile at the lion's predicament. The lion, embarrassed, tried to hide his exhaustion, but the tigress only laughed, her eyes twinkling with amusement. "Why don't you take a break? We can hunt together later, if you like." The lion, grateful for the distraction and secretly impressed by the tigress's beauty, readily agreed. They spent the afternoon hunting, sharing stories and growing closer. By sunset, they had caught a delicious meal and settled down to enjoy it together. As they ate, the lion told the tigress about his frustrating encounter with the mouse. "That tiny creature made me look like a clumsy fool," he grumbled. The tigress, wise and patient, listened attentively. When the lion finished his tale, she replied in a soothing voice, "Sometimes we need to learn from those smaller than us. Don't underestimate your opponents. Even the mightiest of creatures can learn something from the littlest mouse." The lion, though skeptical, couldn't help but consider her words. Later that night, as they lay together under a canopy of stars, the lion confided in the tigress, revealing his insecurities and struggles to accept his own strength. The tigress, with her gentle nature, helped the lion confront his inner turmoil and embrace his true potential. And so began an extraordinary friendship between a powerful lion and a graceful tigress, each bringing balance and wisdom to the other's life. They learned to face their challenges together, proving that even the most different of creatures can find common ground and create something beautiful. Their bond became a beacon of strength and understanding in the heart of the jungle, inspiring awe and respect from all who witnessed their unbreakable connection.